Welcome Barra fans and good day Coyote fans. This is the clutch I'm going to be using on my Barra swap project. Stick around if you want to see what's in the box. Alright, so this came in the mail. Let's take a look at what we got here, folks. Hang on, I'm going to take a couple seconds and open. Alright, we got the box open. And the link to this clutch will be in the description. So, looks like you get all the fasteners you need. The clutch itself is inside that box. If I remember Jason showing me these parts. And that box down there is the flywheel. So you get a clutch, the flywheel, and the hydraulic slave cylinder. So let me get these boxes opened up so you can see what's in them. Alright, got the boxes open. You get an actual Tilton flywheel, which mounts to the motor and provides you with a surface. Let's stand over. For you to mount the clutch to. There's no pins for this clutch. It's so precision. It registers in on this surface here. That's the clutch itself, an ST-246. And you can see I've got the right spline count, unlike what happened the last time I tried to purchase one of these. Not one of these Tiltons, a clutch for my car. So I've got basically the world's best clutch for my car because of sheer blind luck, honestly, and I'm thankful. All the fasteners are here. This is the hydraulic setup, which comes with the actual fittings you need. So that's the hydraulic slave cylinder, and it's clearly got a very high precision mount that is going to go with it, which is really awesome. There's a lot of the packing material. The prior master cylinder I was going to use looks just like the one that went on the car down under, and this is the part for the car down under. Now I don't know if you can spot a quality difference or not. That's sarcasm for those of you that can't read it in my voice. This is one you should never use, according to my engineering friend. I know I've got the one that I bought. Here it is. So I identified this part as being identical. Didn't get damaged, so that's good. Identical to the one down under. It is almost identical. It's like another 1/8 of an inch shorter. This part would have worked with my TR6060, but who knows what clutch I would have used. Since there's so much 351 Windsor or small block Ford in this arrangement, and these parts, if I remember right, the part I found at Summit goes for a GMC truck. Like, apparently there's some standard in use for these bolt holes. We're not using that. What I might use is I did go to great lengths to get an AN fitting on the end of this line here, so it's not a total loss. I'm going to need some AN line the right size here. I think it's AN4. So hey, you know, nothing like paying 40 bucks for $2 or $3 worth of line, but you know, you got to take it as it goes. Back to the Tilton flywheel and clutch setup. This is the bomb, and I'm going to get this put on the car in the next couple days. As it sits right now, what I did, which was I was thinking this clutch was not in flight or on its way. I didn't know, or I would have waited. I mounted the original automatic transmission flywheel and starter to this car, to this engine, and that means I'm going to take the engine back out again, which just means rolling it across the floor, let's be honest. Back to underneath my engine stand here, which my engine stand. Yeah, my cherry picker here. Basically, I'll get it underneath that just in case there's a white knuckle moment, because you're wrestling 550 pounds of motor, and it's quite something to wrestle with. So basically at this point I have to take the whole thing apart again and take the transmission off, rather, mount that new flywheel and clutch, and I might actually have Jason help me do that. And at that point in time, we'll introduce who that guy is and why I'm lucky. So anyways, that's the unboxing video for my clutch setup for my Barra. Just by, you know, I can't claim it's all accidental, but the fact that I'm running into so many great parts for this thing that will handle so much horsepower makes me think that this thing is really destined for a turbocharger build, and I want it to be, you know, solid. So we're getting there, and it's just by accident, some of it, or just by coincidence, and I'm really pleased. So again, I got a Tilton ST-246, that's the part number. You'll want to spec your part numbers directly through Tilton, get their advice if you're using anything but the same transmission I did, because these things are actually very carefully designed to fit in the confines of what's going on here, and I couldn't ask for anything better. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Well, I'm going to get a lot of practice at putting clutches and flywheels together. I should just say flywheels and starters. That's where a little extra work done, because I originally, for the test, the first start, was going to use the FG starter I've got there and FG flywheel for an automatic, figuring that my Tilton clutch wasn't going to show up, and then it showed up, of course, the day after I had it all assembled. So at this point, I'm going to pull this thing back out, and we're going to stick the new clutch that it gets on it. I mean, I'd be crazy not to stick that on there. So let's get started. Well, looky there. We've got our transmission off, and we're ready to put the Tilton clutch on. I got my safeties back working the right way. It's interesting, if the engine is sitting on that K-member stand properly, these things are kind of jiggly. When it starts to put them in tension, that's bad news. The other piece of bad news is, and maybe it's my oil plug. I might not have tightened it. Like, geez, oh Pete's. Need to check all my... I'm leaking. Can you see it? That drop cloth went down there for a reason. Now, it could be the oil pan itself leaking, which is really bad news. See as how it seems to contact my K-member. I seem to be cursed with this. My Coyote had almost exactly the same kind of problem. It rested on the K-member and caused me grief. So I may have to do more profiling on that oil pan still, which would suck, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, compared to everything else that I've been through, I could get that off, get it fixed, put it back on. It's no big deal. Anyways, I'm going to try tightening the AN fittings down and getting them sealed up. I should have paid more attention to those new fittings that I added before I did the oil fill. I should have checked and rechecked them one more time. Again, I'm not sure who's leaking from where. I'm going to have to figure that out. It's not from the engine running and causing oil pressure, so oh well, I'll figure that out. It's not hugely fast either. We're talking, you know, small dribble. It was just a bummer to find it this morning. Anyhow, our transmission is off. We're going to put that Tilton clutch on there. This thing may leak some oil on the first start. It's no big deal. I'll get that all cleaned up and fixed. The bottom line. I have probably the world's most badass clutch going in here, and I'm going to have to study up on all the components required to make this thing work. But we start with this Tilton flywheel, and we go from there. So anyways,